So this show was released in July of 2016, and I finally watched it. And you know what they say, better late than never. So Stranger Things was created by the Duffer brothers, and there's a talented cast of kids and adults in it, but I'll get to them later in the review. So this show takes place in 1983 in the fictional town of Hawkins, Indiana, and there is 4 friends of Will, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas. And one night, 3 of the friends are leaving Mike's house that night, and Will ends up going missing. And the next day, there's a young girl, and she reappears out of nowhere, and no one knows who she is, and she doesn't know who anyone else is. And she really is pretty clueless to the world outside where she's come from. I have recently watched interviews about the Duffer brothers online, and they were talking about people like Steven Spielberg, John Carpenter, Stephen King, just to name a few. And these were some of the few people that inspired these 2 twin brothers. And you can definitely tell because this show definitely has an 80s vibe to it. And you can feel it, that it has a lot of horror, suspense, thrill to it. It's a great show. The Duffer brothers played a lot of homage to these guys. And we have a great score composed by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein. And they had some great song choices. And they had some darker, creepy, suspenseful tones as well. Okay, now let's talk about the cast. And I'm going to focus on the cast a lot throughout this review because I believe it is the strongest point of the show, like by a mile. And let's first talk about the police officer in the town, which is played by David Harbour. And he's kind of like a laid back, not really caring about his job type of police officer. And the way throughout the seasons of his character growing, it's pretty remarkable because his character is like down here to start out in season 1 of episode 1 of not really caring much at all, and then he like skyrockets throughout the whole entire season, and his performance gets better, his character gets better, you care more about him. He just played a great character. And Winona Ryder, one of my favorite actresses in Hollywood today. She's been around since like the 90s, I think maybe even the 80s if I'm not mistaken. And she plays the mom of the missing boy Will. And she is very, very underrated. There's some people that don't really think she did a great job or she was too overdone. But I mean, I think she did a magnificent job. I mean, I can't even think like if I was a parent and my kid went missing, I would probably doing the same exact thing as her character. I think she sold me. She was a great addition to the show. And it was cool that she was the mother of a kid in which the kids are our main focus. And the mother of the kid was actually a bigger part of the show. But, I mean, she totally did and steal the show when she was on the screen. She was totally believable. And now, let's talk about the kids of this show. Okay, let's start with Dustin, played by Gaten Matarazzo. I apologize if I said that wrong, but this kid is hilarious. He was by far like the funniest person on here. He made me laugh out loud like a good 10 times. He's like swearing. He's acting basically like a normal kid would act, and he's just so freaking funny. And we have Lucas, played by McLaughlin, and I apologize if I said that wrong too, but this kid played a great role too. He was one of the friends of Mike, and he did a good job, but there is some nitty-picky things that I kind of have to say about his character. Not by his performance, because he did a good job. I'm going to blame it on the writers. And I thought his character was annoying at times throughout the season, and that was not his fault by any means. I thought he did a great performance. And now let's talk about these 2 kids. Mike, played by Finn Wolfhard, and 11, played by Millie Bobby Brown. And I hope we hear her name around for a very long time. They have a great connection within each other, and they very dearly express friendship and what friendship really is, and they do it with a great job. And with Millie Bobby Brown's character 11, whenever she's on screen, my eyes are always interested. They're always glued to the TV. And her character was so awesome. Her performance was outstanding. And her backstory was so intriguing. I gotta give these kids props though. They stayed in character throughout their whole season. And I'll admit, I was jealous a lot by these characters and these kids, the actors, because they're doing such a great job, and I just wish that I was in their position. They made me want to be a kid again. Now, there is one thing that I have a complaint about, but I'm not going to mention that until after I get my grade because it is spoilerish. But anyway, I thought the exposition scenes in this show was great. I thought it had tons of great emotion, happy and sad. And this show was definitely something we haven't seen before. I think I mentioned on one of my reaction videos was that television shows, what they have the advantage, in my opinion, over movies and films are, a lot of them, like movies wise, they are either reboots, sequels, prequels, how they're adapted from something. And same, with TV shows, it is like that sometimes, but a lot of times TV shows are unique. And Netflix does have a lot of unique stuff, and that's definitely, they do something very well with. Okay guys, with all said and done, I'm going to give Stranger Things Season 1 an A. Okay, you guys might want to click off this video right now if you don't want to know spoilers, if you haven't seen the show before, but there is a character in the show named Barb. And she goes missing, and it looks like her character gets killed, but there's not really a confirmation of that. And the only person that's really caring about her and wondering where she went is her best friend Nancy. We don't even see her parents caring about her. We don't even in fact see her parents. There was a search party for Will when he went missing. When Barb went missing, we got nothing, and I was a little disappointed with that. And also, the adults were kind of a weak point as well. Like I said with Barb, she didn't have any parents that we've seen on screen that didn't show. They didn't care about her, I guess, because they didn't show. We had Dustin's parents. I don't even think it showed that. We didn't see any Lucas's parents, and Mike's parents. They were a little, I don't know, I guess delusional in a way. We didn't really see much of them. The only parent that I thought was really good was Winona Ryder's character, and whenever she was on screen, like I said, I think she just totally stole the show. I love her. She's a great actress. She plays great characters, and everything that I see of her, she can do no wrong. Okay, now I was seriously debating if I should give this show an A or A-, but I gave it an A, and that is because of my love for the storyline and for the characters in the show. It was one of the best, I'll admit, best shows I've seen in a while. Besides those kind of plot holes that I mentioned out after I said my grade, I seriously think that this was such a unique storyline to include in, and it took some risk in that all the actors and actresses, kids and adults, they all did a magnificent job, and I'm definitely going to recommend this to anyone that didn't see it. And it blew my eyes, because I know there was a lot of buzz and talk about it, and I even got recommendations now for months, but I never checked it out until recently, and I can't believe I didn't check it out earlier, because it was totally worth my time. There's only 8 episodes. I wish there was more dearly. I wonder how much there's going to be in season 2. I hope there's more than 8, because 8 episodes went by too quick. And this was a great show to watch. It definitely was. And the season 2 trailer, I did a reaction for that. That was after I watched season 1, so I didn't watch it before I finished season 1. That would have been just silly, but my reaction's over there. I'll post a link in the description for that. And tell me what you guys thought about Stranger Things season 1 down in the comment section. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, so that way you can see me next time. Thanks for watching.